Good morning. Welcome to a brand new edition of Frank and Candid. It's a good-looking Wednesday, hump day. Glad to have you on board. My name is Tony Nias. Let's go as per usual, the news. Last week's eruption of the Soufriere volcano in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has left the entire population of the main island without clean water and electricity. That's according to a UN spokesman. Citing reports from the UN Office for Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, they added that about 20,000 evacuees on the Caribbean island are currently in need of shelter. The eruption has affected most livelihoods in the northern part of the island, including banana farming, with ash and lava flows hampering the movement of people and goods. Although the volcano has been dormant since 1979, it started spewing smoke and actively rumbling in December. The Soufriere erupted last Friday, blanketing St. Vincent in a layer of ash and forcing some 16,000 residents to evacuate their homes to cruise ships and safer parts of the island. All right, that's what's happening with our neighbor down south in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All right, I want to discuss this morning a topic that most of us are familiar with, if not all of us. Quite familiar scenarios we're going to look at. Look at this. As a service provider fails to live up to your expectation, and you feel that there must be some restitution, you feel that that is quite in order. Yet, when you call the service to voice a complaint, you're faced with an automated voice menu, put on hold, or told that the agent is not authorized to refund your money. Sound familiar? Most people have experienced a 4-hour, for example, appointment window that the service provider still manages to miss. You're sitting there waiting. They don't show up. And many consumers have been stuck in an endless phone loop, desperately trying to speak to a person, while you get this automated service that does everything but transfer you to a human being. Certainly, there are some companies that treat customers well, the vast majority of the time, but poor, even awful customer service happens often enough that nearly everyone is familiar with it. We are living in a crisis of customer service. People with no manners. Manners at the worst ever. You see, we got to a point where the bar has been so low, set so low now that we actually expect to be on hold for 15 minutes or more when you call the phones. But if that's not bad enough in the private sector, they say government service is still worse. Talking about manners. Government and customer service, they say, is an oxymoron. Why do people perceive the government as being poor at customer service? That's any government. It doesn't matter where in the world you are. It just seems that government and customer service just don't mesh. It just don't work. It's a song as old as the first ever government. Government is bureaucratic, we know. It doesn't reward good service. Government is filled with all kind of forms. Government employees, they say, don't care. Some people say government employees are lazy, and it goes on and on. Why are these perceptions of government so negative and their customer service? It's a complex question in a complex time. It's a question that doesn't really have an easy answer because government is one of the most complex human systems on the planet. And the constraints put upon many government employees, often for good reasons now, make it difficult for government employees to meet the expectations of customers. And with that in mind, I'm going to look at some points to consider so we can get closer to an answer to that question. The customer, whether it be private or public, is someone with whom we interact for a specific purpose. We conduct transactions with the customer within a set of rules or constraints that exist. Again, regardless of what sector. For example, while I may be a customer of TDC or Horsford or what have you, I have a responsibility. I must conduct myself in accordance with a set of rules or expectations that are part of that relationship. Right? I cannot do as I like when I go there. I can't steal. I cannot destroy their property. I cannot abuse the staff. I cannot order something that they don't sell. I can't order Chinese food from TDC. Right? So there's a certain expectation. I can't be yelling at them either. And if I have a complaint or concern, I will be expected to be heard and listened to. Not necessarily obeyed, but listened to. As a customer, I expect to be provided with appropriate information and explanations. I expect to be helped, even if I can't get what I want. This is no different than members of the public who serve as government customers. When I walk into, say, Inland Revenue or any other government department, I expect to be treated politely and efficiently. I expect that I will be provided with appropriate explanations, and I expect that that if I have a complaint or concern, that I will be listened to, even if I can't get my own way. However, as a customer, I cannot go in there asking for service that they don't provide. Right? Any more than I can do that in TDC or any place else. So whether we are talking about a government office or retail establishment, the customer operates within the constraints and rules. Now, you have heard customer is always right. Customer is always right. It's a motto or slogan which exhorts service staff to give a high priority to customer satisfaction. It was popularized some time ago by one successful retailer, Harry Gordon Selfridge. They advocated that customer complaints should be treated seriously so that customers do not feel cheated or deceived. This attitude was novel and influential when misrepresentation was rife, and we heard of caveat emptor, buyer beware. All of that was the rule. However, when I walk into, whether it be a retail establishment or government establishment, government office or government department, there's a certain expectation from me, and there's a certain expectation from the person serving me. I expect that if I am speaking to you and having a complaint, you are listening to me. You are serving me. You are giving me your attention. You're not chewing gum in my face. You're not on your cell phone. You're not doing something else with your nails or what have you. You are paying attention to me. Too often, that's not what we get. Too often, you're picking up an attitude from the people serving you, as if you are disturbing them. Why are you here? Why don't you go someplace else? That's the kind of feeling you get. Right? And so I always wonder why people believe that the customer is an annoyance. Why don't they believe that the customer is responsible for them getting paid? Because if that was more the thought, they would jump to assist me wherever they can. And wherever they can't, they would give me a decent explanation in a courteous manner. right? But no. Somehow, there's a different attitude as to why they sit where they sit and why I am where I am. Somehow, they have it all backwards and don't really care how they speak to me or any customer. Where did this come from? I don't know. Maybe you have had a different experience, but I believe we have a real problem. Maybe it's in training, or maybe it's just our attitude. Some people might want to say it's our culture. I disagree because I wasn't brought up that way. So, what is it? Maybe you can tell me. What we'll do, take a break, and then 465-2555, 718-577-2916 is the overseas number. Tell me about your experience with customer service around here or wherever you are. We'll be right back.
There's nothing good about jail. I don't want to be here.
My father told me that as far as he was concerned, I could stay in the home forever.
Our children deserve a chance for change. Children make mistakes, and child justice reform can help everyone to address these mistakes appropriately. Instead of sending a child to adult prison, let us give them alternative sentencing. We must divert our children from the court system through a holistic and systematic approach to addressing their offense and their road to rehabilitation. Rehabilitation helps child offenders to grow, change, learn from mistakes, accept responsibility, and make better choices. Reintegration of child offenders into the community after rehabilitation benefits the child, the family, and the community with a more productive citizen. Join the movement to give our children a chance for change. This message is brought to you by the USAID OECS Juvenile Justice Reform Project 2, funded by the United States Agency for International Development. For more information, log on to oecs.org/JJRP.
It's only just a phase. Once we're vaccinated, and everybody gon' be safe. One kind, one people. We are roll up to roll out. Cause no man's alone. Do what's right. Cause I love you. And we're in this together. My sister, my brother. I don't wanna lose you. I love you too much. I think it's better for us, yeah. It's better for us, yeah. I don't wanna lose you. I love you too much, yeah. It's better for us. Tell your mommy to let it roll out.
Bless up. Dejo here, and I'm doing my part in the fight against COVID-19 by following all safety protocols and, most importantly, rolling up my sleeve for the vaccine. So I'm encouraging you to do the same, because that's our best shot of protecting ourselves, our family, and our friends. So don't wait, vaccinate. Let's roll up to roll out.
Welcome back to Frank and Candid. We are in a discussion here this morning talking about customer service and why they're so poor. You ever notice that companies with a large market share, companies with a lock on the market, with not much competition in the marketplace, you ever notice how they are the worst at this? Airlines, cable, phone, internet, they can get away with bad practices because customers have nowhere else to go. You ever notice that? On the other hand, these companies, you may not understand that they're actually profitable. You ever notice that? Bad customer service, but they're some of the most profitable companies. Why is that? Well, they have a lock. So, obviously, it doesn't matter to them that much, because who is going to, or where would a customer go next? Consumers do a lot of spending, and with some of these companies. But if it is a service that you really need, where do you go? You get bad service, where do you go? Got nowhere to go. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. Good morning, caller. You're live. Okay. Not hearing that caller. All right. Feel free to call us back. But yeah, it is funny how that works. Well, it's understandable, because customers or companies actually do get better when competition comes into the marketplace. Let's try the phones again. Good morning. Welcome. All right. Seem to be having some problems with that line. Let's try this one. Okay. Okay. I'll try again. All right. Caller, you live. Go ahead.
Good morning, how are you?
Hey, good morning. I'm well.
Yeah, it's a very interesting topic. And in relation to customer service, some person can be trained. And the thing about customer service, for me personally, it have a lot to do with your personality. Yes, you can be trained, but it seems like some person, for some reason, it's not a part of them, although they are being trained. And some person, because of the job, they're not interested in the job. Okay. One thing for me personally, if you love what you're doing, it will come out. Because I can attest to, there's some very good customer service oriented person in the Federation, according to which entity you go to, as you rightly said. And then some places you go to is like the person, they just don't care. They really don't care. You understand what I'm saying? So, because I remember when going to St. Martin, and when you go to St. Martin, it's like this person will make you buy things that you don't even want to buy. The way they approach you, good morning, how can I help you? And they're following you and making sure that you're okay, and they're trying to bargain with you. But here in the Federation, it's like you're going to the store and nobody cares. If you buy, you buy. If you don't buy, it just don't matter to them. You understand what I'm saying? But as I said, customer service, you have a lot to do with your personality. Because some person don't matter how you train them. Once you put them on there by themselves, it's not a part of them, and they will start off and then they go right back to their old bad habits. They're not smiling. They don't understand the significance of the customers. So these things could be a problem. But training go a long way. It really go a long way. But as I said, sometimes it's just your personality. Some person have a great personality. They're willing to smile. They understand the importance of the customer. But for some person, they're just going through the motion, and that in itself creates a serious problem. But it's something we definitely need to work on in the Federation in particular. I can speak about where I live. Right. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Sure, you too. And, sometimes, as the caller pointed out, facial expression. Sometimes it's just that simple, a smile. And depending on how you deal with the customer, you could be telling the customer no. And the customer will accept that no, depending on your attitude, without a problem. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning.
Pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning.
Customer service depends on the attitude. You might think frank and candid, but you're doing well. Trust me. So happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary. All the best to you and your wife. Have a nice day and continue your program.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. All right. There's a good singer there. All right. We're going back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome. Good morning, caller. Your life.
Greetings in the name of our great African ancestors, especially the most honorable Marcus Masai Garvey and Queen Enzing. God bless you, my beloved African brother. How are you?
I am well. How are you doing?
Good, man. Good. All is well. Now, brother, let me ask you. with your permission. Can I just a little bit, I want to speak about something. Yes, if it's not, it's okay. But
You feel it's important? Go ahead.
okay. But I am a supporter of the People's Action Movement from since I was 10 years old. I'm 62 years old at present. But they had a convention and Sunday, I listened when I tuned in, I think, who was speaking? Oh, Brother Grant. Good was certain the dark was on fire. But brother, let me say, People's Action Movement, they must have a new constitution, beloved brother. And when I see the executive make-up, beloved, those two sisters, Sister Glenn, the sister from Sandy Point, Sister Warner, but I don't subscribe to that. Like I said, I am not a member of the People's Action Movement. Let me put that up front. But I'm a stand supporter for 52 years, beloved. Right? And you want to tell me, why not one of those sisters? Couldn't be the chair. Shani couldn't be the chairwoman. People's Action Movement, and the other sister, she couldn't be one of the deputy leaders. Come on, if you're going to have this slogan, preparing for the future, but I'm telling you, and who want to be mad with me because I don't speak it no water in my mouth. I speak what's on my mind, and I just don't go and shoot up my mouth. And I think things too, beloved. And if you're preparing for the future, come on, how come you could have so many men and just 2 women? But that's not moving forward. I'm telling you. And again, it seems like the People's Action Movement, right off number 6, you want to tell me up to this day, you don't have a executive in number 6? But Richards and others, come on. Got to get things going in number 6. It seems like you're all right off there. Look like you got to take me to come left, but I still get some time up here. And I'm getting up there in 8, beloved. So brothers and sisters in the People's Action Movement, and those in particular number 6, man, let me start blazing some verbal fire on the executive. And Brother Sean, brother, we need to see a constituency office over there, number 6, a Palm constituency office, and we need an executive. And brothers and sisters in number 6, but the leader from St. Paul's, come on, let's get that moving, along with some young sisters and brothers. We must do this, man.
Okay.
We're preparing for the future. You got to do the right thing. So, brother, continue to listen. Keep up the great works. Oh, today's your anniversary, beloved.
Yeah.
Oh, happy anniversary to you, the Queen,
Thank
Sister
you.
C. Yes.
Thank you.
Brother, yeah. Pan-Africanism our perish. One love, beloved. Continue to listen.
All right, let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're talking about okay.
Customer
I'm gonna
service.
give you a joke.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you might know the lady you're talking about. I don't know your age, but the younger people might know her. You had a lady used to do business in St. Kitts by the name of Miss Ford. And let me tell you something. Miss Ford was such a businesswoman. Such a woman with courtesy. Such charming that you cannot go in she store and come out empty-handed. She know how to deal with customers. I don't even remember when big radio was around in the 70s. Well, me had the money to buy a big radio, and me never intend to buy none. I went in there to look news, and I see a big radio with some big powerful speakers. And I said, this word, how much for the radio there? And from the time I say, how much for the radio there? The radio done on the counter and with some charming words. And then I said to her like this, Miss Ford really want the radio, just still really want it over for it, you know. Just looking you. And let me tell you something, the radio end up to be mine, you know. Miss Ford tell me, look, go with it. You don't have the money now, but pay me by the week, and she tell me what to pay. But not only that, you know, Mr. Thing. Miss Ford, she actually asked me, what work you to do? I tell her what work to do. I'm a carpenter. I'm a construction worker. And I do the joinery too. I tell her, well, I do a little joinery. She said, you could polish dining table. But I mean, not about polishing dining table. But I tell her, yes, because I had a partner who was good in polishing. So I tell her yes. And I went and I tell him, Miss would give me the job to do the polishing of the dining table that he could help pay her. And not only that, when I don't pay off, she give me a next big job, me and the fellow, to polish the floor. You know? So what I'm saying is that, you see, I get the radio, I pay her, and I get 2 jobs from her. Just because the kind of woman she was. You couldn't go in the store and come out with nothing. She gonna charm you, and you're gonna get it. And just pay her. We need more of these people in St. Kitts. She went to Miami, but she died, and they bring her back to St. Kitts to bury. And we need more business people like her. Thank you.
Okay. Sounds like you're combining her sales effort and her customer service acumen there. All right, back to the phones. Good morning.
Good morning, Brother Tony.
Yes.
Blessed anniversary to you, man.
Thank you.
I mean, I could have been there celebrating my 10 years anniversary too. But the lady ain't ready yet. Oh. I don't know what happened to her. She come make sure make up her mind.
Okay. Keep at it.
I just doing as she please, eh?
Okay.
And I please with what she decision she make.
Don't give up.
Well, I don't give up, you know. I'm a fighter.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, Brother Tony. Now customer service, especially here in the Federation, I believe that in some of us DNA, you understand? People just do not like to adjust people how they're supposed to adjust them. I don't know. You go in a supermarket, you go in a store, you and that person on the road and speaking, they show it when they're supposed to act as professionals. They show it, even I deal with you, you go deal with you. But you know, I'm going to buy food from a lady. I'm going to buy food from a lady you sell and she spat, she got spat. And she telling the lady daughter, must go deal with me. And I deal with it. You understand? Suppose you come polite now and tell me, you know, and even they think, Mr. What you want? Bam, 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 bam. And give me a nice smile, give me a nice thing. You think you're going to encourage me to go back to the lady, go buy anything from her then? With that lady, they say she ain't got nothing to do with me? Because maybe she planned for me to something, it's what she's serving to me, Brother Tony. And that is so ridiculous with some of us. We don't respect whether you're on the job, whether you're out of job, and when you're speaking, you show it blind and foolish. Suppose you try to act professional on your job. And that's why some of us can't walk away and some of us ain't on the job. Because it's the attitude. Can't me good friend just now there. I be with Miss Ford, ready to Miss Ford, always a good entrepreneur lady. She always know to encourage customer to come in and buy. Because you cannot, you used to go buy clothes. The parents, they used to go there back in the 70s and so. Miss Ford is Ford we used to deal with most. But Brother Tony, we will always be where we got to be. But I believe that we need some shaking up in that area of customer service, especially in government. All right.
Okay. Thank you for your input. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome. Good morning, caller. Your life. Okay. Let's try this one. Good morning, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning, sir.
All the best to you and your anniversary.
Thank you, sir.
I just want to ask a question. This lady who used to answer the phone down government was 4 men. They could find out over now because she was the best customer here.
Well,
4 men. Anytime you call, morning, 4 men, quarter 4 men. And so the question like, I don't want to hear no more from them to find out.
Okay.
I just want to wish you all the best of the government.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay. We lost that call. All right. Okay. 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. That overseas number. Let's try this one. Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Nair.
Hey, good morning.
I think I hear people saying, wishing you a happy anniversary. Let me join in with you and the Queen and say happy anniversary.
Thank you, sir.
No, we always hear, for instance, we growing up, small growing up, we always say charity begins at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now the politician, we're hearing the politician them saying that integrity in public life and things, right? But if you don't get the training at home, and when you go and you don't have integrity, you can first, if you don't get the training at home, to go out and be polite at home and respect others and stuff like that. It's no way you could go on a job and they're going to think they might have training and whatever and so, because you're not accustomed to that and you don't have that in you ain't gonna get it.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with the integrity thing. If you don't have integrity, there's no legislation that they can legislate to give you integrity.
Right.
Because you don't have it, so you ain't gonna happen with you. Right? And you mentioned about these companies, right? These companies. For years, now people hear me talk about a company that, I bought a vehicle from.
Mm-hmm.
And the vehicle is bad. Right? I get the vehicle bad. And you go back to them, and then studying you, because what? They think they're so big and they're big and mighty. And every year when they put out their financial statement, you hear they're making millions of dollars, $14-15 million in profit. So they don't care really about you, because they know, hey, we just ignore he, because he's only one person. He ignore he, but 10, 20 other person are gonna come and buy stuff from us. So we not got to study about he, especially if he's as we would say a no-name person, no brand name person. So we ain't got to really study. So that is how things are going. And when the workers in these places see the management, people in the high places behave like that, they're going to get the same thing too. They treat customers the same way too, because the big people treat people so. They're seeing it. They're going to go do the same thing because they work for well if the management that treat so. I could be able to, and me ain't going to lose my job. I ain't going to. So I could do it. And this is what happening. You ain't get training at home. The government want to talk, the people want to talk about training in public life. It ain't going to happen if you don't have it. And this is what's going on, and this is what's going to continue to go on. It ain't going to change. Just like a lot of things in life, this ain't going to change. You're going to only have a lot of talk about them, but they're not going to change. Thank you for allowing me to say anything.
Okay, thank you for your input. Back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Yeah, Brother Tony?
Yes, sir.
I have a concern.
Mm-hmm.
And a very serious concern. Some night ago there, when I finish work, but after 11 going for 12, I met a lady there. She told me she went to the hospital since 6 o'clock in the afternoon, with a 3 years baby. And they got her there waiting. And she said that she there up to 10 o'clock. Nobody come out to her. She went ask one of the people who does assist, and they tell her she ain't got to wait. But the lady said she turn off. And up to now, they do nothing to that baby. She turn off. And this is the treatment that our people got to get here in our own hospital. They said some other foreign lady come, a business lady in town, and she mother was ill, and she mother went in and get treated. And if that is the situation, Tony, I believe that we got to look into these things serious. And that I myself had a problem up there myself too. Going up at the hospital and no attention to me. And I got to go down in the room, went down and think. And as I said, they tell me to sit down there, right in the part that I attend to people. And I sit down and they do what they got to do to me. You understand? Sometimes we got to put up a defense. You cannot treat our own like that. I ain't tell you that treat them foreign people like that neither. Treat everybody the same. Because you're making the government look bad. And you're making the system look bad. You're treating the system. So anyway, Tony, that's all that I have to say. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
What I'd like to point out, any announcement come out with the solid waste changing the schedule.
For
Think about that?
For what area? No, but I could check.
Because they're custom to come at the village and Buckley side area yesterday. And now I noticed the other day, they come at all and recharge come building up and so on. So we do want to know if they know any announcements. Let them. I don't know the number. You know the number about solid waste?
Not offhand, but we will check on that.
Oh, okay then. Well, maybe they're listening, so let
yeah.
Help you. Okay?
Right.
I can find out further and let us know right now.
Sure. And thank you for bringing that to our attention. Anyway, let's go back to the phones. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. I think the complaints on customer service are numerous enough and widespread enough to see it as a national problem. And it seems that the problem is so pervasive that, we're beginning to feel that it is something cultural. It is saying something about our values and our norms and societal interactions generally. I remember during our transition from sugar to services, the feeling was that because we were essentially an agricultural economy, right? The structure of our economy was such that it was agriculture and light manufacturing, mostly. The quality of customer service was somewhat unimportant. Just get your production numbers right and everything will be all right, okay? Because contact between the customer and the primary producer was really minimal, okay? It's the numbers in production that mattered. Now that we've made the transition to services and tourism in particular, I think that mindset still bedevils us. And training can do a lot to overcome that. I don't agree with the previous caller that change can come because of previous training. Okay? People can be retrained or they can unlearn the bad stuff. And, it just takes some time and effort. And a lot can be said for a management and leadership culture in an organization or a country. Okay? They can instill values and integrity and customer focus and all those good things into an organization or a country, and it will eventually show in the bottom line or the success of the country. All right? But it's interesting that so many public and private entities now are using technology, which in a sense is taking us backward in the sense that we're now going to have less face-to-face interactions or less, well, certainly the interaction is going to be more private. And, it would be interesting to see how that would impact customer service. I mean, if what's in front of you is a computer and a program, and you're dealing with that, okay, how do you define or measure customer service in a situation like that? Okay, that's a whole new ball game. Of course, there are metrics that can do that. I mean, if you put in a complaint on the computer about your street lights not being, your street light is out, for instance, and it takes a whole month before it is rectified, that is still poor customer service. Okay, so even there, even with technology, you have metrics that you can measure. But definitely, I think it is what's going to make the difference, not only between organizations, okay, but companies and firms, but between countries as well. Okay, that is what's going to make the difference as to whether we're successful or not. So we absolutely have to pay attention to it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. All right. For that caller on the solid waste matter, phone number there, if you want to give them a call on this schedule, 465-9507, 465-9507, and see if there was, I don't have any notice of any change, but in the scheduled pickup time. But that's the number, 465-9507. Back to the phones. Good morning, welcome.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, Mr. Niles again. With the solid waste thing, there was on another radio station, I think, either yesterday or the day before. And the schedule for picking up in every area now has been changed. I think it used to be 2 days, so now it's 1.
Okay.
So I guess maybe some people still, maybe putting out on days that, some of the days that they thought was, would have been time for their pickup, and not realizing that it's
sorry, we lost that. We're going to have to see if we could pick up a copy of that, or see if there's one here somewhere on change. Good morning, welcome.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing? Good morning. Okay, I just want to weigh in this customer service talk. First of all, I don't subscribe to the saying that customers are always right.
Okay.
I think customers have responsibilities. Right. Customers have rights, and they have responsibilities.
Right.
And sometimes we are bombarded by some customers who are from North America, who think that they have a right to get whatever they want, when they want, how they want, and if they want. And sometimes you're not providing the kind of service that they're asking for. But they're demanding. And if you even tell them they can't provide it, they want to see the director because they want this and they want it. No. Customers have responsibilities. They must understand that there are times that an institution can only operate on a subscale. And sometimes, there's no institution anywhere in St. Kitts that would provide everything that everybody wants. And there are limits. And sometimes customers should understand that there are limits. So customers are not always right. They have a right to ask for what they want, but they have a responsibility to respect the institution if the institution cannot provide. Now, on the other hand, when there are some places, really, to be honest, that you go on customers, and the customer service provider always giving you some kind of a negative. Listen, I heard someone talk about when you go to St. Martin. There's a difference between customer service and badgering the customers. And those people in St. Martin and some of them who in St. Kitts, they're badgering you like crazy. You walk in the store, you know what you want, and they come and they tell you, well, try this. It's not good for you, But they'll say, try this is better for you. They don't know you like that to tell you this is better for you. But they're going behind you, harass you. There's some stores that I don't go in and back there because I think they're badgering me. When I walk into a store, I know what I want. If you can give me options, give me options. But don't tell me that this is better for me when I don't want that. That's not what I want. You don't have what I want? Fine, but don't tell me this is better than what I asked for. And I don't like people badgering me. There's a difference between good customer service and badgering a customer. And there are some business places in St. Kitts who badger customers like crazy. This fellow said he went in and he didn't really go to buy something, but he come out buying something big. Is it sweet talk? Is customer service? Not in my opinion. But another thing, what I would really prefer to see is that the persons who are front line get paid according to what they do. because of course, somebody said this morning, if you work, you get paid. If you don't work, you get paid. So I want to say, if the business places begin to change things now, and the people are paid according to their production, things might change. Because I believe that whatever you do must be able to be measured.
Mm-hmm.
And once you can measure it, you can tell, okay, well, you've been doing good, you're not doing good. You can pull up here, or you can excel in these other areas. And then your payment would be based on what you produce. But some places, they don't care. They really don't care. And I think that we need to look at our practice. It's not a culture, it's just a practice that we have that we don't care. And especially those who are sent by politicians, sent to a place by politicians. Oh my gosh, they don't care. Somebody sent me, so I don't do what I like. I believe that it is time for us to look at what we provide, how we provide it, and how we can do better in our institutions. Thank you.
Okay. Those corporations that take it seriously, as a key performance indicator, give you an opportunity right at the site to make your voice heard as far as the service you just received. Whether by dropping something in a box immediately afterwards or something like that. It means they're serious about that and they're measuring. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid. Good morning, caller. Okay. Try this one. Good morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello?
Hey, how are you doing?
Huh?
How are you?
Is it Niles?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, good morning. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
The person that could talk was like, but me get some bad deal from Hasford and spending thousands of dollars. If I tell you what's going on and the whole world what's going on, you will surprise the business service how they don't go on here. One morning I went there, 7 o'clock. About 10 minutes to 7. About 2-3 minutes to 7. So they got open 7 o'clock here. I had $600. In hard dollars, no 5 cents, no 10 cents. They're watching me and tell me they don't take them thing there. I must go by the bank. I must wait until 8 o'clock. Fine, me the diabetic, me want to go all in for sale, you know. For sale. And that's why you see they don't want no competition in this place. They don't want no trainer in Indian. Because trainer in Indian won't send me back. $600. I had to buy 2 lakhs. I had to go up there and ask the girl to let me get some change this money for me, because they say they don't train them a month at a time. Right? Because they got a special time because they don't want nobody to tie up the line. I had to ask somebody who are accustomed to go to. And I saw the girl tell me how it's when she going to ask when they go in and they get them trained. I had to go back there because I got no chance to go nowhere else. I had to go back there and they take the paper money. I told you to do me that, you know. When I was putting on the concrete roof here, I must see $6,000. And the concrete must come up to 14. And when I went back there with some trains, you know, all dollars, when I went back there with about 1,000 something in all dollars. And the people them who don't do the credit tell me that they are trading them kind of money there. I had to go to one of the big man.
Really?
I want the big man send an old lady and then she come to money. Easy money, you know, no point. I mean, I disrespect people. Me can't go tell nobody with them kind of money. They tell 5 cents and 10 cents. You understand? Dollars and quart I will work with. And I had all dollars that time when I went by hospital. Okay, so they can't quit. You understand?
Yeah, got you.
And that's why I couldn't think never tell me. I had to tell them what I got to say. Because I kind of money me spend. You're going to get kind of money just so early morning.
And the legal tender, right?
Yes, of early morning. For sale. And you're going to turn down $500-600? Eh? Put China and Indian. We'll show them the kind of money there.
Gotcha. Understand.
Why these people there? I mean, when I come back, I ask for back, man. Because I say, well, who could get them kind of order, yeah? And he tell me this, and you go around the bush, and you go around the bush, they say, order they get. If me hold to hold in them, then I can. But Hasford not big enough to hold them there. You could get too much any money, you could get too much change.
Okay.
I don't see you here.
Well, keep holding on to your dollars then.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad they didn't sell you yet either, too, so. All right, that's my boy. Let's go back. We got a caller? Okay. All right. Yeah, but yes, on the issue of customer service, you know, one caller before talked about his experience at a medical facility. You know, that is even more critical, because if you're getting poor customer service at a medical facility, then that could be life or death. So you know, I mean, I don't know, the level of attention that you get from a customer service personnel, I mean, it's also important. You cannot be standing in front of a customer service personnel and they are otherwise engaged. I mean, I expect that you're taking care of me, you know, providing service for me, and I don't expect. As a matter of fact, you know, sometimes I wonder, depending on the size of the organization, why is it, for example, I have to stand in front of a customer service personnel who is also taking the phone calls? I mean, you know, I don't think that is the right thing to do, because you must deal with the person that's in front of you. Somebody else should be able to take the phone call. I mean, I am right in the middle of a transaction. I am right in the middle of getting help, much needed help. That's one, but that would be an institutional problem, right? But you know, as far as the individual problems, such as those who decide that they can be chewing gum in front of my face while they're dealing with me, those who believe they could be, you know, working on their nails while they're talking to me, those who believe they could be WhatsApping a friend while they're talking to me and just kind of brushing me off with some, you know, just an answer to get rid of me from in front of them. That's not nice. That's not customer service. The idea is that you should be dealing with every customer that's in front of you as if it's the only one. And I know a company that has that as an actual slogan. They deal with every customer that way. You are the only customer until the next one, right? But hey, I don't know. I mean, like I said, some people want to chalk it up to our culture. I don't necessarily buy that, because I don't believe in our culture that that's what we do. I believe we behave differently. One caller mentioned the fact that we came out of a different environment, different industry, and now we're now pushed into more service-oriented economy. Well, it goes with the territory. Got to be trained for that. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to lend some support to the topic, customer service. And it's simple. If you consider the meaning, the definition of customer service, it is, when you ask the question, who is your customer? I do not think many people understand that question. So if you ask, who is your customer? The answer is, everyone is your customer except you. So it means your mom, your wife, your husband, your child, your neighbor, the person who come to your office to do some sort of service, they are your customer. Everyone around you, your teacher, your enemy even, is your customer. And once you understand that everyone except you is your customer, then I believe you will start to give excellent service to that person. Some people think it's only the boss or the person who coming into your store to buy something. The person who is handing you that big check, they are a customer. But the person walking next to you, who refuses or who says good morning, that's your customer. And you made a salient point there that oftentimes you would be speaking to someone and they would go on their cell phone and start texting and doing stuff, and you're right there. I'm sure you have lots of examples that would have occurred in your presence. And so sometimes we just have to just stop and pay attention. The rule for customer service And I am a proponent of excellent customer service. If you have a customer standing in front of you and your phone rings, you refuse to answer the call until you finish dealing with or servicing that customer. Now, if the phone rings persistently, you ask the customer standing in front of you for permission to answer the call because it may be an emergency. Outside of that, you deal with the person in front of you and make sure you give them excellent service, ask them to have a good day afterwards. And even the person who is coming to you to make a complaint, you thank them for the feedback and you strive to improve. Thank you very much for this opportunity and have a wonderful day and happy anniversary to you. Goodbye.
And to you. Thank you. All right, back to the phone. Good morning.
Morning, you could hear me?
Yes, I can.
Look, I didn't get in no volume. Okay. I asked the fella, but I just get it.
Okay.
Let me tell you the thing.
Okay. All right.
Okay, hello, I'm back.
Okay, great.
No, I must say I can't say everybody. They like to say that we just talk about young people because I are the young too. But I tell you, some young people who got the job in front of you, they ain't what a thing. And I don't think they just listen program. They're just doing what they want to do. Just while you talk, you have somebody talk about the fingernail and the thing. Especially now, I'm an old lady, I can do Facebook. Like face now back book. So now these things them is what taking over everything. So they go to work and they find out what happened last night and what going to happen now. They ain't concentrating on what they're doing. Okay, see you.
Okay, see you. All right, think we could take a final call. Go ahead, you're live, caller.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Not sure what has gone before. I'm just picking up the program, but I wanted to add to, I'm sure, what must have been a really good show, that there's an element of it which is important, and that is the business place. If you want to have good customer service, the company, the institution, must determine that it wants to have good customer service. It cannot just depend on having one type of entity, and then the people you employ going to be of another type. If you want your employees to deliver good customer service, for instance, this must be a nice place to work. If your employees are unhappy, if when they get there during the day is just another day in the street, I can't wait till 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock to go home. What do we think then our employees going to be giving off to our clients when they come in the store? And somebody said earlier when I had to turn off something about whether people are trainable or not trainable and so on, and it's a valid point, but I can also attest to the fact that I go to some business places and get very poor customer service, and then later on in the evening I go to certain tourist-like places, and the same persons who give me bad service during the day are over there moonlighting as bartenders and waiters and waitresses and whatnot, and give me the best customer service you can think of.
Environment, huh?
Exactly. And not just the environment, the employer.
Right, yes.
Intention that this place is going to deliver good customer service. Right. And they do what it takes. They insist on it.
Gotcha.
So, again, I could go on and on, but I think you get my drift.
Gotcha.
The employer, the institution has a lot to say and a big part to play in the type of service that its employees deliver.
All right. Well said. And that's a good way to end this morning's conversation. And we'll be back tomorrow with much more. I'm Tony Nass. We'll see you again back here on Frank and Candid.
XYZ Radio, entertaining the nation, enjoyed by the world.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy